Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to some more of the King of the Cruiserweight tournament. We've got three big matches for you this evening. We are starting things off with Hideo Itami versus Kalisto. We've got Hirumo Takahashi taking on Noam, and we're going to finish things off with Leo Rush versus Matt Sydal. So without further ado, let's crack straight into our opening match. And here we go. This is going to be good. All three of these matches very good, actually. And we're starting things off with a very, very strong one here. Kalisto, one of the top cruiserweights in Octane, taking on Hideo Itami, someone who's not had an overly massive opportunity so far in SWE. This is his first real big chance to show what he can do. Of course, he is part of PJ Tovey's Mayhem roster at the moment. Yeah, he's part of the Mayhem roster at the moment. I think PJ Tovey has plans to maybe mix him up a little bit soon. We'll find out after the Mayhem pay-per-view. But I think Hideo might be one of the men who is currently on his list to trade to one of the more cruiserweight brands. I think he'd be best all round for that, I think. But he's got a great chance here to show exactly what he can do. Just like on Octane, where I gave Pete Dunne the opportunity to prove what he can do, and so far he's doing pretty well. And now we're giving Hideo Itami an opportunity to show what he can do as well. Hideo. See, Itami is a tricky one, isn't he, really? Because you don't really know where to put him on the card. You can play him cruiserweight, you can play him upper mid card, you can play him main event, really. He literally could float everywhere. It all depends on just how PJ Tovey sees him. Of course, in Ring of Honor, he faced the best of the best. He faced CM Punk, he faced Daniel Bryan. So they definitely had him as a main event star there. And he was main event in Noah, wasn't he? So it'd be interesting to see exactly what they've got planned for him. In NXT, now he's fighting for the NXT Championship, of course, faced off against Bobby Roode not too long ago. So makes you wonder whether WWE see him potentially as a main eventer when he moves up to the main roster. If he doesn't get injured again, that is. He's just a Japanese Sin Cara, isn't he? Getting injured that often. Good old Kalisto. Talking to Sin Cara, he is in this tournament. He is in bracket number 3. And he's going to be in the first round. No, he's not actually. No, he's got Kushida in the first round. Wow. That's a big match for him, Kushida. One of the top cruiserweights in the tournament is Kushida. One of the guys who I think is a favourite. Now, of course, a couple of the big favourites have already been knocked out of this tournament. So, it's a bit of a few shocking results in the first two episodes. If you've not seen them, I do suggest you go back and check them out. We've got them, of course, all in this normal SWE playlist, but there is also a separate playlist solely for the King of the Cruiserweight tournament. If you go into the channel, you'll be able to find that pretty easily. Hideo now, a couple of boots right in the face of Kalisto. This one is a pretty, I don't know how to put my money on this one, really. It just, I don't know, I feel like Hideo should win this, but you never know with Kalisto. He's a great high flyer and was a fantastic high flyer on the indie scene, and one of the men who doesn't seem to be confined to the cruiserweight division, even though at the moment it might help him out being cruiserweight. He seems to be more on the main roster now when he's had feuds against the likes of Baron Corbin and so far, which I think would have been better for him, but of course he did pick up an injury. He's had a match or two with Braun Strowman, which again didn't really help him out, so maybe it'd be good for Kalisto to be part of the cruiserweight division in WWE, but you never quite know, do you? You never quite know what is going to happen. And I think it'd be nice for him to drop down, but then I don't want him to get stuck. Yeah. I mention this every single episode, don't I, about people getting stuck in the cruiserweight division. But yeah, I just don't want him to get stuck there. A bit like Neville at the moment is much stuck in the cruiserweight division, but I don't think he'll be stuck there for too long. I think once he loses the championship, he's definitely brought more relevance to the cruiserweight division, as has Austin Aries as well, but I think at some point those two guys are going to have to step away from the cruiserweight division and allow the rest of the guys to really take a lead. Guys like... is Tony Nese still around, or is he injured? I know he got injured, didn't he? But you got guys like, of course, TJP, Jack Gallagher, Rich Swann. You've got quite a few names there that should be dominating that division that so far are just like underlings to the main couple of guys. So I think it's same with NXT, really. You move somebody up from the main event of NXT, and that gives somebody else the opportunity to step into the main event picture and learn trade. And I think the likes of Neville and Aries probably should do that at some point. I'd like to see Aries move to SmackDown, because I think the whole idea of Aries versus AJ and Aries versus Nakamura, I think is definitely something I would like to see. Of course, if you've not seen it, we had a few days ago on, and we had Aries versus CM Punk. What about a few days ago? It was yesterday. Yeah, Aries versus Punk yesterday in the main event of Throwdown. Really good Really good match, actually. Locking in the armbar on Kalisto. Could this be enough to get the tap out early on? No, Kalisto rolls it through. And a right hand right to the face of Hideo Itami. I'm hoping this video is going okay. At the moment, my video stream that's on my PC seems to be getting a little bit... Every now and again it goes a bit slow, so I'm hoping there's no problems with this. Kalisto with a pin. It's only enough for the 2. And now Kalisto locking in the head scissors. It's time for Kalisto catching him with that jawbreaker and rolling Hideo through right to that boot to the side of the head. Hideo is shaken here. Kalisto with a little backflip there, just taunting, trying to get the crowd behind him as Kalisto lines up Hideo Itami. This could be massive here for Kalisto if he can knock Itami out. Catches him. There's the Salida del Sol. Hooks the legs for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Hideo Itami lives. How much more has he got to give as Kalisto drops a standing moonsault? Now stamping on the face of Hideo. Dragging the falling Hideo. It's Kalisto once again now springing off the ropes. Back into a step up into Guri right to the back of the head of Hideo. Now, of course, we've only got one more set of first round matches to come for you after this episode. And then we're going to be into the second round matches, which is going to be really good. We've got some cracking second round matches set up for you already. And I think no matter what happens out of these next 2 matches here this evening, we're going to get another one set, which is going to be fantastic. And bracket number 3 is going to be an interesting one because we have got some big names in bracket number 3. We've got both of your Cruiserweight champions as well. And we do have a surprise entry who PJ Toby's not informed me who this surprise entry is going to be, but we're going to find out in the next episode. He's not told me anything. He's just told me there's going to be a big name making an appearance in SWE. So I'm surprised, shocked. Well, I will be surprised and shocked when I find out who it is, I suppose. Well, I hope it will be. If it turns up being like Mark Henry, that'd be a bit of a shock if it was Mark Henry, considering it's a Cruiserweight tournament. But you never know. You never know with PJ Toby. Kalisto now stamping on the arm of Hideo, now dropping into the pin. Kalisto in dominant fashion here at the moment. And enough dominant fashion to knock out Hideo Itami. That kick to the side of the head a few seconds ago was obviously enough, and a little bit of added insult puts Kalisto into the next round. And I'm surprised here with Hideo. I am surprised. Another dark horse, in my opinion, for this entire tournament knocked out in the opening round. That's a bit of a shocker, isn't it? That is a bit of a shocker. And here you see that big kick to the side of the head. I think that was what finished Hideo off. That was the first one, that was. Then into Kalisto, Salida del Sol. And then here was the second one. I think that is what finished Hideo off. Kalisto folded up with a stamp in the back just to roll Hideo over, then stamping on the arm, then gets the pin for the 3 count. But I think that kick to the side of the head was enough to finish Hideo off. And there is the... Wow. What a big win that is for Kalisto. He's going to get himself 5 nice ranking points. And he's going to get himself a place in the next round to face off against the winner of Hirumo Takahashi and Noam Dar, which is coming up next. What an interesting result this is. Lucha, lucha, lucha. I don't think we've got any... I think, yeah, that makes Kalisto the first Mexican into the second round. And here we go, Hirumo Takahashi. One of my favourites to win this one. I've got quite a few favourites to win this, as you might be able to tell. Quite a few favourites, though a few of my favourites have been knocked out already. So I think Takahashi's another one of those guys who could really put on a great showing here. So I better turn my fan off there. I don't know how it's, if the fan is screwing with the audio, but it sounds a bit better now. Yeah, Takahashi made his debut, of course. He's returned to SWE, should I say, because he was in the first series. Made his return to SWE a few days ago at Octane with a big victory against somebody. I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it was Kushida, wasn't it? Bloody hell. How can I forget that? Yeah, Takahashi made his return, defeated Kushida, and now here he is to take on the Glaswegian Noam Dar. And yeah, I think, you know what? I think Takahashi could have this one, you know. And with Kalisto in the second round, he might be feeling pretty confident. This second bracket is turning out to be quite good, actually. Christopher Daniels versus Akira Tozawa in the second round. Kalisto versus the winner of this one in the second round. It's going to be a strong bracket, this one. Then again, bracket 1, we've got Rich Swann versus Pete Dunne. And we've got Will Ospreay versus Mark Andrews. So that's a pretty strong bracket as well. And there he is, of course, Noam Dar. Who really could throw a spanner in the works here for Takahashi. You never know. Noam Dar could not be written off. And of course, part of our Octane roster. Both these guys part of the Octane roster, actually. Our last match here this evening is going to be, of course, Leo Rush versus Matt Sydal. Both guys are part of the Adrenaline roster. So, the draw for this tournament didn't really mix them up very well, did it, really? That's not my fault. That's not my fault. I tell you what, I just saw a video a minute ago of the rap battle on SmackDown. That was funny. Just that one bit was funny. The funny thing is, the funniest part of that rap battle was cut out by the WWE. The bit where the Usos say we're going to keep this. What was it? We're going to keep this clean. We're going to keep it PG. We don't want it to turn it R-rated like Xavier Woods. Oh, that was just funny. That was really funny. Takahashi here taking early control over Noam Dar. No surprises there. I expected him to be honest with you. Takahashi now bringing Dar back up to the Dar with a big knee to the face of Takahashi. And then teleports across time and space there for a second. But Takahashi once again taking control. Catching Noam Dar with a German suplex. I think we needed Takahashi over on Octane. It just gave us an extra... It gave us an extra name for our Cruiserweight division. I think I like our Cruiserweight division, but I just didn't think it was strong enough in depth. But I think now it is. I think bringing in Takahashi has definitely helped that out. I was planning on potentially having Marty Scurll in here, but I don't think we're going to in the end. I don't think Marty Scurll really suits the Cruiserweight division. So I'm thinking of maybe bringing somebody else in. Of course, I have drawn it already, but I didn't think that he suited it. Is there anyone else who suits it that's not in there so far? Ricky Steamboat. Not got Ricky Steamboat in here, have I yet? Tyson Kidd. I did originally... See, I had Tyson Kidd in here originally. It is a tricky one, isn't it? I think I might put Tyson Kidd in because I'm gonna put Alex Shelley in. Right, Alex Shelley. Okay. Yeah, sorry about. I just don't think Marty Scurll suits this. I really don't, and I don't want to ruin the tournament by having somebody who doesn't really suit it. So Marty's going to continue on in Octane. He's a cracking member of Octane, and wants to be part of the Bullet Club stable, of course. But I just don't think he suits this Cruiserweight tournament. I see Marty Skull's future a bit higher up the card than that, but we'll see. We'll see. Takahashi now sending Noam Dar back into the ring. Takahashi in firm control of Dar, who slowly makes way back up to his feet. Takahashi stalking into a springboard Hurricanrana. Oh, what is with this blame interference? What on earth is going on? Well, it is The Rock. Let's just ignore this. Just please. It didn't happen. You didn't see it. I've said before as well, I can't even restart the match because this is already logged in to happen now. It's logged in to happen that The Rock is going to come out. So even if you restart the match, The Rock will still enter the ring at the same time. Big super kick there by Takahashi. Let's just hope that Takahashi finishes his match off as soon as possible for everyone's sake, as he now rolls him up into that submission hold. I thought Noam Dar could tap out to that, you know. Takahashi now dropping a boot right in the face of Noam Dar. Now Takahashi stalking the ground of Dar. I think Takahashi's going dominantly into this one, looking for that big air raid slam. Of course, the move that he defeated Kushida with a few days ago. There's the pin. Referee slow down, and The Rock distracts the referee. This bloody Brr, game. Why? Why the bloody hell is The Rock here? Oh, why? Just why? Oh, he's rolled him up. He's rolled him up. He's rolled him up. Oh, thank God for that. Takahashi gets the win. I'm so sorry. Has The Rock just taken Noam Dar underneath his wing here in Octane? I don't know how or why that would work, but there you go. See, there's the jawbreaker by Noam Dar. And then, that was a pretty good little move actually, reversing the fisherman suplex into a roll-up. I quite like that. I'm just frustrated. Well, this is the second episode in a row now where we've had a random interference for no reason. We've seen the Big Show, who's the biggest man on the game, turned up at a Cruiserweight tour, but now we've seen The Rock. If it was another Cruiserweight, it wouldn't be a problem, but The Rock. Maybe that's what PJ Toby's got planned for the next episode. I don't bloody know. So there we go, that is the end of the first round matches of bracket number 2. Let's head straight over into our main event of this episode, Lio Rush versus Matt Sydal. And here we go. Our third and final match of the episode. Our first match of bracket number 3. We've got Lio Rush versus Matt Sydal. I'm not going to show you bracket 3 because there is a bit of a surprise in there from PJ Toby. I can tell you the matches though. We're going to have next episode for you, Kushida taking on the current Octane Cruiserweight Champion Sin Cara. We're going to have Alex Shelley from Octane taking on the current Adrenaline Cruiserweight Champion P.T. Williams. And then our final match of bracket 3 is going to be a surprise from PJ Toby. So, not quite sure what he's got planned for us, but we'll find out as time plans on. But this one, I'm looking forward to this. I'm not quite sure we've seen Lio Rush yet in this universe mode, have we? I don't think we have. It's someone that hasn't yet had his opportunity. I think he is going to get an opportunity pretty soon to show what he can do, but who knows? He could prove everyone here how good he is. Of course, Matt Sydal, the more experienced of the two, would probably be most people's favourite for this. I'm looking through this bracket now. There are some mega favourites to get through to the final. It's going to be tricky as hell to get through to the final. It really is. As here comes Matt Sydal. I almost called him Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley at the same time then. But it's actually Matt Sydal. Yeah. Cracking Matt Sydal, really. He is more, find Devon. He is more experienced in the Cruiserweights, I would say, than Lio Rush. Lio Rush very much an up-and-coming. But Lio Rush, people don't realise that he was a former Combat Zone Wrestling heavyweight champion, as well as other heavyweight championships up and down the Americas. So it wouldn't surprise me if he could pull this off. But you can't tell any of it. We've seen so far, we've seen some massive surprises in the first round. So you can't really tell, can you? Got no idea. It could literally be anybody making it through to this next round. And if anything's to go by, we're probably going to have some sort of dodgy interference at some point as well, aren't we? I'm going to bring out The Rock or Big Show or someone else's backstage. Why would The Rock get involved in Takahashi versus Noam Dar? Just why? Why would he even bother? But I don't know. Or don't know. The bell's gone and we are underway. Lio Rush versus Matt Sydal. The winner will go into bracket number... We're in bracket number 3. The winner will go into the quarterfinals to take on the winner of Kushida and Sin Cara. As Lio Rush taking control early on with that head scissors. Both guys back up to their feet and Rush once again catching Sydal with a sit-out slam. And a standing moonsault. Lio Rush really showing some fantastic action here to start things off. And who knows, he might have... Oh, I was going to say he might have the Sydal's number. But yeah, that was tricky. The thing is, you got to think that with Lio Rush being a lot younger than Sydal, he probably has watched Sydal naturally as years have gone on, just watching what he gets up to in the ring and how he acts, and that would be very much, without even knowing it, just scouting Sydal for a lot of his career. So yeah, I think Rush might have a big advantage here. I'm not quite sure how much Matt Sydal knows about Lio Rush, but then again, you can't be too harsh on guys like these. The veterans, they'll know everybody on their roster. They'll know everyone in the company inside out. They would have done their research, would imagine. As long as he wasn't too high, I'm sure he knows a lot about Lio Rush. But Rush is in control of this match early on. And stamping on the back of the arm of Matt Sydal. Rush now bringing Sydal back up to a standing base. No, it's back up to an inner base. And Sydal taking advantage, playing possum, taking Leo Rush down. That's the experience factor there of Matt Sydal I mentioned earlier on. Now dragging Leo Rush, middle of the ring. And there he is over the top with that natural selection style move. As Sydal makes way up to the middle rope. Looking for a bit of high-flying action. First time of the match, Matt Sydal. Ooh, nice little jumping DDT there on Leo Rush. Really creates quite a lot of force. Driving the head of Leo Rush down into the mat. As Sydal now with a DDT to the knee as well. And Sydal back up to the middle rope this time just to try and get the attention of the crowd. But I'm not quite sure he's noticed that Rush is slowly getting back up to his feet. Now he does notice. And it's a bit too late as Rush takes him down into a Hurricanrana as well. I think Leo Rush is someone that PJ Toby needs to utilise a bit more. I think he's a top-level wrestler, I think. Big leg drop. And I think this tournament might just show PJ Toby exactly what he's got with Leo Rush. Nice. Nice sit-out brainbuster there by Matt Sydal. Now sending Leo Rush into the corner face first. Hoist him up. What has Sydal got planned? Oh, wow. We've seen this quite a lot from Sydal on the indie scene. Standing Spanish fly from the top rope. Wow, Leo Rush fell hard and from high. Matt Sydal once again getting up on the apron, really getting the crowd behind him, getting his momentum building. But does he have a shooting star press ready? Sydal taking Rush up into a gory special style neck breaker. Now rolling Rush over. Rolling Rush over. Sean Connery here on commentary. Does he have though the shooting star press? That would probably finish it off. Stamping on the stomach of Rush. Doesn't seem to want to follow up with a shooting star press. I thought the opportunity was there, to be honest with you. Great springboard 450 by Sydal. Big right hand to the gut though by Rush on Sydal. Rush now taking Sydal up on his shoulders. Sydal falling free into that reverse DDT. Boot to the back there by Sydal and Rush. And Sydal taking more and more control of this match as it goes on and on. Probably showing, like I said, the experience factor that Sydal has got over Rush. Again, Rush trying to get back up to his feet, but Sydal step up into Guri right to the back of the head of the kneeling Rush. Again, bringing Rush back up to his feet. Sydal sending him into the corner. What's he looking for here? Potentially another standing Spanish fly. Looks like it might be, you know, yeah. Lines him up once again. Standing Spanish fly on Leo Rush by Matt Sydal. Can he follow up this time though with a shooting star press? He's positioned beautifully there for Sydal, who takes Rush up on his shoulders once again. Drapes him in for that captured neck breaker. And I think that might just be all for the 1, the 2, and the 3 count. Matt Sydal makes his way into the quarterfinals. But Leo Rush definitely impressed me here. But it's all down to whether he impressed his general manager, PJ Tovey, who I'm sure is watching this video. He's probably not. He's probably not, you know. I'm sure he's watching this video, yeah. This is 2 top adrenaline guys in the main event of this episode. Surely he's watching it. And surely he would have been impressed by the work here of Leo Rush. But of course, the work of Matt Sydal as well, who makes his way into the quarterfinals. He's going to face off against the winner of our next episode's first match, Kushida versus Sin Cara. Of course, next episode will be our final 3 first-round matches here of the King of the Cruiserweight tournament. So definitely worth a check out. We've got Sin Cara versus Kushida, P.T. Williams versus Alex Shelley, and then a special attraction match for you. Well, it's not a special attraction, it's part of the tournament, but a surprise match that PJ Tovey has put together of 2 big names. He's yet to tell me yet, but I'm sure next episode is not going to disappoint. Of course, if you have enjoyed this one, then please do hit that like button and subscribe. It does really help us out. And we will see you very, very soon for some more SWE King of the Cruiserweights. Bye!
One, two,